Now, the question I got, we kind of alluded to, talking about Brandon Williams earlier.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Chiefs Kingdom seem to think, and you kind of mentioned it, Brandon Williams will solve some of the issues we've had in the D-line. And I think some people have pointed to, Melvin Ingram. We brought him. He kind of changed the culture of our D-line last year. It was a veteran that we brought in. Do you feel the same way about Brandon Williams, that he could be a solution to our defensive line issues?
I think so. I think he's going to bring something here, especially being a veteran. Like I said, a Pro Bowler. When you watch his film, you watch how he plays. The double team. You watch how he's pressing guys in the backfield. You watch what his effort is when he's coming off the football, and he's low to the ground and he presses really, really well. So that's what you need to see. You need to see a pop coming from the defensive line, and he's going to come in, man, and he's come back here with color, so he understands the scheme. He understands what he needs and what's required of him. When he comes off, boom, I mean, he's pushing this guy in the back. I mean, he's propelling this dude, uplifting him, and that's what you need to see. Double team wise, he's not really giving any type of ground, and then, so that's another thing. Like, is for your linebackers to be effective, they got to be able to run through lanes, and they can't have guys in their lap. And so when you have people in front of you that's going to be able to, keep those guys getting to the second level, that's what's going to help you become successful and make plays. And so whether it's just pressing pressing the guard or the center back to the quarterback, is collapsing that pocket. You don't want to give him any type of comfort back there. And I think he's going to provide that. I really do. So when I start watching his film, looking at what he does really well is he can press guys, like just bench press them in the backfield. And he does a hell of a job in double teams. So I think he'll definitely come in and give a spark. He hadn't played all year, and that's another thing, just getting him up to speed, getting his wind in him. But I think, man, he's gonna bring and provide a spark that is needed on that defensive line. I always said we need a guy opposite of Chris, and I think Colin was doing a good job. 90, so what? But this guy right here, who's been there before, he'll provide that for sure.
And one more thing, I want you to talk on this because you played the NFL, obviously. Talk about difference between being in NFL shape, because people look at Brandon Williams' workout videos over the last for a few months. Everyone's like, oh, he should have been ready to go last week when we signed him. It's like, it's a little different than getting into being in shape and NFL shape. Can you talk about the difference between the two?
Well, sucker ain't been hit. If you ain't been hit and bodies laying on you, that's a whole different field. That's NFL shape. That is taking the hits. Like in the 4 months, it's like, okay, let my body get acclimated to getting hit and falling and all those different things again. It's one thing to turn over tires and, do jumping jacks and all those different things, do sprints. It's another thing to have 320-pounders on your back, biting your ear and hitting your legs and your knees and your kidneys and everything like that and your ribs. That's a whole different shape. It's a whole different shape. And the only way you're going to get into NFL shape is actually getting out there and getting hit. Being at the NFL shape. That's the only way it's going to happen. So, I always say this. I used to tell reporters all the time, I used to get ready for training camp. The best way to do it, the only way you can simulate it, throw yourself down the steps about 100 times. That's probably what it's going to feel like. It's a car wreck. And so when you're piling and bodies and stuff like that, it's going to take maybe a week or two just to, okay, man, I know what that feels like, right? If I ain't been hit, in a few months, I just need to get that initial hit, get that rust up off of me, and I'm gonna be fine. So, hey, if we felt like we didn't need him, then that's just how they felt. Okay. Now, in hindsight, we look at it like, well, shoot, yeah, we definitely could have used it, no doubt about it. But he's here now, so hey, he's here. Yep. So that's what matters moving forward.
Yep. And with the releasing of Stallworth, it probably lends a hand to maybe him being active this weekend and elevated to the active 53-man roster. So hopefully we'll see.
Right.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.